of Asia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivoham, is the reviver of KAILASA, this ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. KAILASA is an unbroken cultural, religious, historical, civilizational, and sovereign continuation and revival of multiple of these historical Hindu sovereign states and Hindu ecclesiastical entities. The unbroken continuity of these ancient Hindu nations through KAILASA results in the legal recognition of KAILASA as per the international customary law, particularly the doctrine of continuity. The international law, the doctrine of continuity, implies that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations do not negate the existence of the country, do not affect the legal personality and international obligations of the country or state. The Vienna Convention on Succession of States in Respect of Treaties, 1978, addresses these principles of the doctrine of continuity as it outlines international law during situation of state succession or continuation. International law recognizes a state's legal personality by recognizing its identity. This perspective extends even during the period when the given state or country is annexed or occupied by a foreign power. Even in such cases, the legal personality of the state is considered to persist, enabling its subsequent re-establishment. Historical examples dating back to the 18th century include cases like Portugal and Genoa that were re-established after the Vienna Congress of 1815. More recent examples include countries such as Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, and Austria that were re-established after World War II. Even when a nation is deprived of its territory, the nation continues to exist. Its sovereignty and international legal personality continues to persist. The Dalai Lama, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet, exemplifies this principle. In 1959, the Dalai Lama was exiled and forced to flee. Despite the challenges faced, the Dalai Lama continues to advocate for the preservation of Tibetan culture and garners worldwide support for Tibetan autonomy on the global stage. Similarly, from 1309 to 1376, the Pope of Catholicism had been in exile in Avignon. Despite this, he was recognized as the head of state as well as head of the church and given full privileges of the position after their return to Rome. Even in 1861, much of the papal territories had been lost, leaving the Pope with no sovereign territory other than the papal residence and related buildings. Yet his temporal powers were still acknowledged. He was recognized as a head of state, and later, the Lateran Treaty of 1929 formally re-established papal sovereignty over the Vatican City. The Sovereign Order of Malta further exemplifies this principle, retaining international recognition as a sovereign entity despite the permanent loss of their territory upon Napoleon's invasion in June 1798. Despite such permanent loss of territory, the sovereignty and the international legal personality of the Sovereign Order of Malta continue to persist. Much later in 1894, the order settled in Rome and acquired two properties, the Magistral Palace and the Magistral Villa that received extraterritorial status. Today, the order maintains diplomatic relations with 112 countries, issues its own diplomatic passports, currency, stamps, and vehicle registration plates, and has been granted observer status in the United Nations. All these examples of state re-establishment illustrate the principle of continuity of states, as per international law, that a state's legal personality persists over time. A nation continues to exist even after a complete loss of territory. A far more striking example is of the oceanic countries, which are under the threat of their entire nation being drowned and submerged due to rising sea levels owing to global warming. In response to such existential threat of climate change, Pacific Island nations, including Tuvalu, have enacted constitutional amendments and made international declarations affirming that their nation and their sovereign rights will continue to persist, despite their entire territory being lost to the sea. This proactive stance is highlighted in the Constitution of Tuvalu Act 2023 and the Pacific Islands Forum Declaration of 2021. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivoham, through the line of succession, is the present 203rd Emperor of the Hindu Sovereign Kingdom of Surangi Samrajya. He was crowned on the 31st of December 2004 at the age of 26. Thus, by very same principles of the doctrine of continuity, through which the international legal personality of Portugal, Genoa, Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, Austria, Vatican, Tibet, Sovereign Order of Malta, and several other nations has been recognized despite having undergone a period of exile, annexation, occupation by a foreign power, or despite loss of territory. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivoham, through well-established legal and historical facts about the Hindu sovereign state of the Surangi Samrajyam, derives all sovereign rights and powers of the royal lineage of the Surangi Samrajyam, as its 203rd sovereign emperor, from his inheritance and continuation of the unbroken succession of the kingdom of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam Sarvanapitha. Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, through unification with 20 other sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical, historical entities, became part of the United States of KAILASA, which thus became a sovereign, independent juridical state, with the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivoham as the sovereign. Just as how the oceanic nations like Tuvalu have safeguarded their sovereignty from the existential threat of total submersion by amending their constitution and asserting that their sovereignty will persist regardless of the loss of their territory, KAILASA, which is a sovereign continuation of 21 sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical historical entities, is also reviving and continuing the Kumari Kandam Hindu nations that got submerged. As per the doctrine of continuity, these facts imply that the Kailasa's statehood is recognized by international law and manifests as a natural outcome of well-established historical legal facts. Share your time, talent, and treasure. Become part of Kailasa. Sign up as an eCitizen https://kailasa.ecitizen.info.
With Paramashiva's grace, we have evolved UAN, United Nations for Ancient Nations. Paramashiva successfully manifested, and now he is introducing this to all of you, to the world formally, United Ancient Nations. It is United Nations for Ancient.
Nithyananda, all of you. Nithyanandam Paramasupharam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasudisham Tattvamasyatilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. So, welcome all of you on this wonderful revelations by Swamiji, especially when Swamiji talks about the temple-based ecosystem. So with this, we'll be now beginning with the power manifestation, as this is the right time when we start manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. So we'll be projecting you the image, and through the power of third eye, see what is being revealed to you as Swamiji reveals to you. So requesting all of you to cover your eyes now with the blindfold. Ma Sangasaktini, Ma Trinatkanda, Zhang Shihao, Ma Anupama, Ma Suagyana. Welcome all of you. And all the participants with the cameras off, please switch on your cameras. Let's get ready for the power manifestation. You can cover your eyes now with the blindfold. Ma Parabram Swarupini, Ma Saumya, Yi Fan, Ma Gyan Prakashini, Lukiaya. We have Yuan, Kevin. So all of you, so please get ready. You can cover your eyes now with the blindfold. Yes, Nithyananda Mahaprabhu Sarvani, Mahasuryana. Please cover your eyes now. Let's get ready for the power manifestation. Yes, please cover your eyes now. And let's sit with your head, neck, spine, and straight line. And connect with Swamiji in your inner space. Just take a long inhalation and exhalation. Just relax. Just inhale and exhale and just relax. and start to unclutch from every single thought. And just remember Swamiji in your inner space as you gently bring your awareness to the third eye and connect to Swamiji's third eye. Let's connect with Swamiji with the Mahavakya, the cosmic code, to connect with him. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Keep chanting the Mahavakya. And let's enter into this round of power manifestation. We'll be projecting you the image on your screen. Through the power of third eye, let's enter into this power manifestation. The image is now being projected on your screen. Let's begin.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham
Slowly, very slowly, you can remove your eyebands, you can open your eyes. And let's take a moment and start to share what was revealed to you as you're manifesting the power of third eye, seeing picture blindfolded. So please go ahead and start to share what was revealed to you. Please take a few moments. Please take a moment and start sharing. Ma Sangashaktini, Ma Anupma, Ma Junyong, Ma Parvanthropni. Let's take a minute and start to share what was.
Yes, so requesting everyone please start penning down, start writing down whatever was revealed to you. So we had displayed an image for you. Through the power of the third eye, we request you to now let us know the details of that image and understand that all powers manifest through the space of oneness with the divine. That is through this connection that we have to the divine that the powers manifest. So as such, don't have any doubts. So don't engage the mind, don't have any doubts, worries, judgments, anything of the kind. Anything that you are being revealed, just go ahead and share. Trust that you are being revealed. So from the moment that you connect with the divine, the connection is there, the doors are open, and your manifestation is occurring. It might not be occurring in the way that you expect or that you want at this point in time, but there is no such thing as not manifesting. So from the moment you connect to the divine, you are manifesting. So trust that whatever you are experiencing, whatever you are being revealed in whatever way, so it could come in many different ways, perhaps a picture, just a piece of information, just knowing something is true, perhaps a feeling, you just feel something, you smell, you see something, you hear something, you even taste something, whatever way that it has come to you, just trust. So be aware of everything that is happening around you and inside yourself, and just trust that it is a message from the divine, a revelation from the divine. So go ahead and share in the chat box.
So let's take a few moments and then we'll be entering into the verification. We'll be projecting the image on your screen, the image that we had displayed before.
All right, so let's move on to the verification stage then. So this is the image that we had displayed for you.
You can see a vast picture actually taken from vast top view, and you can see the mountains just filled with the mountains, greens, trees, and there's some kind of building, some structure. Yes, so this is the whole scene. So if you have manifested, you have seen anything, mountains, forest, trees, house, so you can congratulate yourself because you have successfully manifested this power. Yes. All right, so with this, we'll be now entering into the next revelations by Swamiji, which is going to be on the collective consciousness and how to be spontaneous, how to establish yourself in Turiya. So let's come to a space of listening and let's enter into this revelation by Swamiji.
It's my favorite subject because I suffer only with this problem with all my disciples. I can say this is one of the obvious, visible gap between a disciple and the master. Not only in the spiritual sense, I can say even a follower and a leader. Anybody can do 80% of the work. Person who is not having absent-mindedness or who is aware to do that last 20% only becomes a leader. Please understand, I am defining a leader. Leader is a person who doesn't have absent-mindedness or is able to do the last 20%. He is the leader. That 80% running everybody can do the race. The last 20% who runs, he is the leader. So I have a story. An elderly widow and a widower had been dating for 5 years. He finally asked her to marry him. All these jokes, when I come here, I pick up from the American books. Because many jokes I tell here, the Indians can't relate. Even the last joke I said, a professor missing his house and trying to find out. This joke nobody will understand in India. Because if he misses his house, anybody in the street will tell where you are living. See, the whole street will know who are all living in that street. No, really. See, at least in the village where I am, I know every house. Their name, their kid's name. I know everybody. And not only that, who is having what all with whom. Everything. That's a lifestyle. Sometimes many stories I tell here, all this whole thing goes to India also. Now this time they made live streaming. All over the world people are watching. Many times, these brahmacharis, they ask me, Swamiji, we didn't understand that story at all. Many stories they can't understand because in India, even especially when I was in the village in which I was born and brought up, it's like a 4th street, all cousin brothers and the whole village, practically the whole village will be relative, directly or indirectly. Kids will go into any house and eat anywhere and sleep anywhere. Once in a week they will take attendance. And they know all are there. Once in a week, the Friday they will all supposed to go to temple. They will all go to the temple. That time they will take attendance. That's all. The huge house. If somebody gets married, they will be given a room. That's all. And it doesn't belong to anybody. I still remember once they wanted to sell the house in which I was born and brought up, one portion they wanted to sell. They were searching for a document. Finally, they realized for 90 years, nobody is bothered to find out the document or whose property it is. 90 years before the grandfather was there, in his name document is there. Means for last 90 years, nobody questioned whose house it is. Everybody was living. Can you imagine? 90 years means 3 generations. Nobody asked, no conflict arose, whose house it is. Who is the owner of the house? Nobody questioned. That head of the family, he is there. Whenever some girl gets married, one part of the jewel is given. When a boy gets married, a room is allotted. So they can't relate for this joke. Anyhow, I don't know whether they can relate or not. You can relate. Especially elderly widow and widower dating for 5 years, they can't understand. This itself will be a joke for them. They don't need a punchline. No, really, the other day, I was talking to one of our American disciple. He was very sorry for my father. My father died in a very young age. He was 50s, early 50s, he passed away. So he is very sorry. And he can't understand that my mother cannot remarry in India. They don't even think. And he is thinking, he can't understand. He is thinking, when will your mother get the next marriage? I said, oh God, forget about this. We can't even think. Forget about this idea. I never even, it's the wildest dream. But in this, he was not able to understand. He was not able to relate. Why? Your mother must be just in her 50s. Why she should not remarry? In India, of course, in the modern days, that is also less than 40 means only they think of second marriage. After 40, they don't even think. Many things. So the first line itself, they may be laughing now. He finally asked her to marry him and she immediately said yes. But the next morning, he could not remember what her answer had been. In desperation, he decided to call her. He forgot. He says, this is really embarrassing. But when I asked you to marry me yesterday, well, this morning, I just could not remember what your answer was. She suddenly said, oh, I am so glad you called. I remembered saying yes to someone, but I could not remember who it was. I think that would have been the ultimate marriage. Anyhow, different levels of absent-mindedness. When you are absent-minded, internally, you are caught in addictions, not only addiction to the alcohol or drugs or smoking, not only that kind of addictions. Many addictions, even shouting, freaking out. You can see your whole life. Try to live for a few days with awareness. You will be walking in the same way inside your house. You will be sitting in the same sofa. Many times inside the house they share the sofas. This is for you, this is for me mentally. They sit in the same sofas almost. And when you come down in the same way. Sometimes even for 6 months you don't use many parts of your house. Many parts of your house for 6 months you don't even use. I describe aparigraha. Aparigraha means living with minimum things. Whatever you have not used for last 6 months, donate it to some charity. Give it away. Somebody came and said, Swamiji, will they take my brain? I said, that won't be useful for them. Whatever you don't use, you have not used for 6 months, give it away. In that case, many part of your house, you have to give it away. Don't use means absent-mindedness. Forget about parts of your house, even parts of your body. No, really. You don't feel you are alive inside your body completely. It's all lying there because you cannot disconnect it. Because it is all already connected, it is coming with you wherever you are going. Otherwise, you yourself are not aware. Many times, you are not aware of your hands. You are not aware of your legs. It is there. Because it is there, it is there. You are breathing. You are not aware. Your digestion. People come and ask me many times about diet. I tell them, you are eating, you are digesting, you are asking about me about your diet. What is going on? I can't understand the concept of asking about your diet to somebody. When I tell them, they say, what is this, Swamiji? That is the way. You only have to suggest about diet. Means what? You are not even aware of your digestion. Be aware for next 10 days when you eat particular things. Be aware how you feel in the stomach, how you feel with the whole process of digestion, cleaning. You can very clearly decide which one makes you feel comfortable, with which you are happy, which one makes you feel relaxed. That's all. You say, no, how can this be so simple? Alright, it is that simple, that's all. Many times, I feel there's a big gap between me and the others. Now, when I say these things, people say, no, he doesn't know much. How can this be so simple? Just eat and you are digesting after all. Somebody else is digesting for you. Unfortunately, it's not happening. We don't have machines which will do that for you. Of course, now we have machines for dialysis which will do your kidneys work. We have many other machines. I don't think still we have a machine for your digestion. You are digesting. Just be aware of digestion system. Suddenly your body will tell right quantity, right quality, everything. That is why Patanjali never speaks about a particular diet. He only gives you simple suggestions and leaves it. He says, you be aware. Don't be absent-minded. Bring more awareness to your stomach. Bring more awareness to your diet. Bring more awareness to what is happening inside. The moment you dump, you are disconnected. You forget all about your stomach and food till the next meal. One person came and told me, Swamiji, I can't practice yoga. Can you suggest something else? I said, why? He said, there should be 3 hours gap between 2 meals. They say to do yoga, there should be 3 hours gap after meal. Said, then he asked him, he said, 3 hours after the end of the meal or beginning of the meal? We became so insensitive, disconnected. I want you to remember this only one word. Nidra means disconnected. There are so many definitions of Nidra. This one definition, carry this one definition. Internalize, internalize, internalize. Till you come back tomorrow. Just internalize this one idea. Let this one idea ring inside you. See the sutras, there are 199 sutras. Earlier, the devotees were requesting, please Swamiji, if you talk on 5-6 sutras on one day, we can complete the whole thing in this tour. I said no. I don't want to finish talking just for the sake of talking. At least the batch which is sitting in front of me should experiment with this. That is why I took up only one subject per day. Today is Nidra. Analyze the different dimensions, different aspects of Nidra. You have 3 kinds, 2 ways of sleeping, means 6. Waking sleep, dream sleep, sleep. In that waking sleep, 2. One is external and internal. External is responsible for losing all the outer world things. Internal is responsible for all addictions. Many times you decide, you don't execute.
Means what? The vow, the strength, the sankalpa which has happened in your system is disconnected before even it spreads your whole body. For example, you decide, let me stop smoking. That sankalpa, it travels through your nervous system. Before even it occupies your whole body and brings it under the control and becomes an action, it is broken. The nidra has happened. The pass has happened. Your screen has gone into power saver mode. Because I am struggling with this Kindle. Every 10 minutes it goes to power saver mode. Your system goes to power saver mode. Understand, you don't have to save power because you are not connected to battery, you are connected to electricity directly. This machine has to save power because it has a battery. But you are connected to cosmos without socks. I was walking in India. I did a Padayatra this January. I'm filled with so many memories and experiences of that wonderful Padayatra. Because I went to live with the villages. After my mission started, first time I'm going back to villages and living. 9 years I lived with them before the mission started. 9 years I spent my life with Indian villages. I can say that is the best place to live on the planet Earth. Best place to live on the planet Earth is Indian villages. Indian villages. Especially where the TV has not penetrated. I can say still at least 10,000 villages are there in India. They don't know who is the Prime Minister or President of India. I'm not talking about America or other country. They don't know who is the Prime Minister or President of India. And not once police has entered that village. Not once anybody from that village has gone to any court. They don't have any connection with law enforcement department and government of the country. Not a single one would have even heard about the word tax. Forget about paying. They wouldn't have even heard about the word tax. I can say at least 10,000 villages are there still in India. Totally 4,60,000 villages are there in India. At least 10,000 are there. They are there. Living the Dharma. The Swami of that village takes care of the whole smooth flow of everything. They live. I went back to live with them. Somebody from the different tradition came. I was walking without shoes. How can an enlightened man walk without socks directly touching the ground? I said, what do you mean? Only an enlightened man has to walk on the ground, touching the ground, because earth will feel blessed. He says, no. Earth will suck the energy. Whenever I walk, I feel depleted. I said, foolish idea. Stop believing these ideas. One important thing. If you start believing some idea strongly, you will start experiencing it. Stop believing the idea that you will be drained of energy. You need to forget some 10-15 words from your dictionary. I am burnt out. I am swamped with the work. Too much is in my plate. All these foolish words. I am so happy my brahmacharis don't know all these words. Really. All these words create that experience. When you start believing, you start creating that experience. I can say these are some of the poisons put inside your system. Slow poison put inside your system. I told him, understand, you are suffering and you will continue to suffer if you carry these words like earth will suck my energy, this will suck my energy, that will take away my energy. That's one group which teaches. Keep your eyes always closed whenever not needed. Open it only when you need. Otherwise the biomagnetic power will go away through your eyes. Oh God. Live as intensely as possible. Existence is not here to suck from you. It is here to supply you. You need the understanding from the other side. You need the understanding from the other side. It constantly rejuvenates you. It constantly rejuvenates you, refills you. The disconnection which happens inside is responsible for addiction, dullness, and unable to keep the intensity in your life. When a vow happens inside you, before even it penetrates your whole system and takes over your system, the pause has happened. The break has happened. You have gone to pause mode. Don't pass life. Don't pass your life. Remember, whenever the pause is happening, and try to be more aware. That's enough. Just be a little more intelligent. That's what I am saying, nothing else. The essence of whole thing is just be a little more intelligent. That's all. I am reminding the same idea every day in a different angle. Patanjali is also saying the same thing in a deeper and deeper ways. First he expressed about right knowledge. With right knowledge, nothing much needs to be changed. You don't have to work so much on the right knowledge. That's not a problem at all practically. Then wrong knowledge. You need to work little on it. Correct the direction. Vikalpa, imagination. Not only you need to correct the direction, very content has to be changed. With the wrong knowledge, it's only wrong direction. With imagination, the very vehicle which you are sitting is wrong. With wrong knowledge, you only need a navigation. With the imagination, the very vehicle on which you are sitting is wrong. I have a story about imagination. One guy brings his brother to the hospital and says, "Sir, he thinks he's a lawnmower for last 8 months. Doctor said, "Why did you bring him so late? 8 months, what did you do?" No, just yesterday my neighbor returned him back." With imagination, very content needs to be changed, not just direction. With wrong knowledge, only the direction needs to be changed. With imagination, very content needs to be changed. The subtler than that, next level, sleep, very road needs to be changed. The very road needs to be changed. That's a nidra. Subtler and subtler modifications of the mind on which you need to work. The second level nidra, dream sleep. Please understand the dream sleep. The dream, you can see, you completely have that confused identities. It is not chronologically clear. Sometimes you will feel you are going to your school with your wife. Of course, in some countries it happens. Means the mixed identity. You will experience some incidents which happened in the 50 years age and 20 years age, you will confuse it and you will see that in dream. Means in the dream sleep, even in the dream, you miss the continuity. Even in the dream, you miss the continuity. There is one great tradition, spiritual tradition in India, worked only on dreams. Just on dreams. One tradition of Vedanta They are called agoris. They work only on dreams. They master dreams. Even Tibetan Buddhism, one branch of Tibetan Buddhism, work on dreams. They work on dreams. They master dreams. They call it dream creation. There is a village belongs to Agori Sampradaya in Madhya Pradesh. The Agori Swamis live there. Of course, householders also live, but they all believe in the Agori tradition. Agori means compassionate, soft. Gora means wild, violent. Agori means compassionate, soft. We have a wrong understanding about Agoris. We think Agori means violent, wild. No. Gori means wild. Agori means soft, compassionate. They work on dreams. They have a tradition. If they see a dream that as if they disrespected somebody or abused somebody, in the daytime, they will go to that person's house and ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. We do the opposite way. The daytime we abuse, in the dream we may ask forgiveness. That also we may. With them, even if they disrespect somebody in the dream, they go and apologize that person. They believe the dream is an extension of waking state. If you are not daydreaming or falling asleep during your waking hours, your sleep, your dream also will be continuous. You see, if you are able to maintain that continuous flow during the waking state with your awareness, in the dream state also, you will be able to maintain that continuity. They use the dream state to solve all their problems, to find out the mysteries of the planet Earth and the universe. This great mathematician Ramanujan from South India, he had mastery over dream. Any problem, he will just contemplate in the night and go to fall asleep. In the dream, he will have solution. Next day morning, he will just repeat the solution. He doesn't know the way, how he is settled. He says, I don't know the method, but I know the result. That's why somebody started suspecting that he may be stealing the answers from others. If somebody asks, how do you know the answer? He's a great devotee of Solingapuram Mahalakshmi. It's a Devi, Lakshmi Narasimha. Narasimha is the incarnation of Vishnu. The great devotee of the Lakshmi Narasimha. He says, though Solingapuram Mahalakshmi told me, that's all. He has mastered the dreams. If you are able to be aware, even while the dream continues, you will use your dream to enrich your life. Please understand, if you can master this art, God, I can say, your whole life will be totally different. You can achieve straight away whatever you want. Mastering your dream means being aware even while you are dreaming. Not letting that breaking or the past happen while you dream. You may ask how to do. There is a beautiful technique, very powerful technique from Tantra. Visualize something which you like. Even Patanjali speaks about the technique. He gives in Vibhuti Pada. He gives in next Sadhana Pada and Vibhuti Pada about the technique. Whatever makes you feel very pleasant, something, if some person, if you feel very pleasant by remembering your master, or by remembering your beloved, or by remembering some scene like a beach, if you feel very pleasant about somebody or something, just remember that alive inside while you fall asleep. Lie down in your bed, just remember that alive, vivid, visually, in multicolor, 4 dimension, vividly, remember, and continue to be with that till you fall asleep. Try this just for 10 days. You will see that vivid picture, vivid visualization, that vivid experience will penetrate your dream state within 10 days. And that will continue to be there throughout your dream. Means you have mastered the dream. You may think, how can this happen in just 10 days? Try, you will see. But only one condition. You have to choose something which really makes you pleasant. By remembering which you feel very pleasant. You will continue. You will not have that dream sleep. If you have this, if you master this, you will not have dream sleep. Please understand. Patanjali is talking about many mystical dimensions. He is talking about all these things to awaken those mystical dimensions in you. Life is not just all about having a, what you call good life. Just few cars, few houses, and a family, maybe few wives. But sometimes I really wonder how these guys are able to manage few affairs, because constantly you have to hide. No, that's a big problem. And you need to spend so much of energy. Really, the other day I was discussing with one of our disciples in Houston. That guy was telling, Swamiji, it's a big headache. Maintaining is a very big job. You need to constantly keep in touch. And anyhow, that is not all about good life. I asked him, we were discussing, he was talking about one subject, in particular field, in this country especially, the Indians are very good, it seems. I was talking about the medical profession and few things. I asked, how come? How it is happening? He said, first thing, the worry about maintaining other affairs are less so. When you start maintaining, it's a big responsibility. Anyhow, it's like a big load. I can say mental load. Patanjali gives all these methods and techniques to awaken the higher energies inside you. He is not talking, he is not interested just to stop your that good life. What you call it, good life? No. What you say, that family, house and money and health. No, he says, no, that is not all about life. There are so many other things which you can experience if you can have human body. So you see, what is good life? You go to Hawaii and you know all the most frequented places. You stay there for a few days and you see only those few places and come back. That may be equated as a good life. But seeing every place, experiencing everything is what I call complete life, yogic life. That is what here Patanjali wants you to live. You come here and what you call that, the definition. You see, whenever you go to a new place, you know the tourist guide is there. The tourist guide will say few places which they got sponsor. That's all. They would have got sponsor from few people about those few hotels, few restaurants and few beaches and few places they will talk about, and you do that one or two things and come back. Same thing most of us do in the planet Earth. When you come here, you see the tourist guide which your parents are carrying. And you say, one marriage, one house, 2-3 car, little bank balance. You do that and go back. Understand, that is not complete life. There are so many things which are hidden, deep secrets, which needs to be lived. Awaken those energies, those possibilities. Especially if you can stop that dream sleep. So many things can happen. Even in the dream sleep, there are two subtle categories. When you are dreaming, the discontinuity which happens with the dream and the discontinuity which happens with inside you. Just like in the waking state, two dreams, two sleep. The waking state, you have two sleep. Sleeping in the action, sleeping in the thinking. Same way in the dream state. Sleeping in the dreaming, sleeping in the thinking. The next is sleep. This is the ultimate sleep. Understand? You may think, what can we do about sleep? If you work on the dream state and go deeper and deeper. See, if you are working on the dream state, let me explain this very clearly, how to work on the dream state. If you are interested in working on the dream state, take up this technique. It will be very powerful. Every day I am going to talk about the techniques which Patanjali is expressing. If you can work, continue to work that day itself. If you can't, at least play with some technique. One or two, you will see new doors opening. Working on the dream, as I told you, take up a pleasant object or a thing. If it is a person, it will be really nice because you can easily meditate on him, connect with him, feel him. Feel him inside your inner space, visually, alive. Just go to fall asleep with that one intense visualization. In 10 days you will see, he is there continuously. You will see his form in the dream. Clearly, in multicolor. Means you have mastered, you have created a continuity in the dream. Now you have mastered how to avoid dream sleep. If you continue the same thing, maybe after 3 months, in the deep sleep, you will have his presence, energy, but not the form. When you wake up, you know you have been with Master throughout, but you did not remember his form, that color, dress, hair, you did not remember all that. But you know for sure you are with him. You have been with him whole night. Please understand, this is what is real Shivaratri. This is what is real Shivaratri. Krishna says in Gita, yogi is a person who does not sleep when everybody sleeps. This is what he means. You are awake throughout. Your consciousness is awake throughout. Try this technique. You will master waking sleep, dream sleep, and sleep. You will have that continuity in all three states. That is what we call Turiya. Fourth state. If you are continuous, unbroken in all three states, you experience, what you experience is called fourth state, Turiya. By describing the sleep, Nidra, all Patanjali wants us to understand is the subtle state where thoughts are not visualized is sleep or Nidra. Now, try to be continuous throughout the Nidra, not only the sleep which is happening in the deep sleep time, the sleep which is happening all the 3 times. Be continuous so that it can lead you to joy. If you are not maintaining that continuity, if you are falling asleep, day sleep, dream sleep, deep sleep, it will lead you to more and more anguish and pain, which is happening in all of us, which is happening in our life. So understand, try to maintain. Try to create the continuity. People ask me, if I am continuous, then how will I rest, relax? Understand, that continuity itself will be such a deep, restful awareness. It will not be restless awareness. Don't think, it will be like a load on you. Sometimes if you don't fall asleep if you don't sleep in the light night, early morning you feel tired. It will not be like that. In that time, you have not slept, but you are thinking continuously, all broken ideas. It's like a garage sale. You collected all the things and you are completely confused with your objects. How to organize and how to market and how to price it, and you are suffering with it. Please understand, if you have not slept and early morning you are tired, you have done garage sale whole night. Whole night you have been doing garage sale. I am not talking about that mode. If you are create that continuity, that very continuity will be the deep restful awareness. I can say that is the ultimate break you can give for yourself. Now you don't have break. Break is not under your control. The continuity is the ultimate break. It looks paradox. Please understand. It looks paradox. Now you think you have a break. You have a break sleeping, dream, waking. You think you have a break. That is not a break. Continuity. Having the continuity, mastery over the break is a break. Understand? Now there is a break, but you don't know when it will break. Mastery over the break is the real break. I have a story for you about break. A huge fire broke out near a farm. The county fire department were called out, but the blaze was too big for them to tackle. So a call for additional assistance was made to a part-time volunteer force. The volunteer brigade turned up in a dilapidated old truck which spluttered along the track leading to the fire. The county fire chief was about to apologize to the farmer for the embarrassment the volunteer force was causing, when to his amazement, the volunteer truck fearlessly drove into the very heart of the fire. Within minutes, the center of the fire was extinguished, breaking the blaze into two controllable sections. An hour later, the entire fire was out. The farmer was so impressed that he immediately presented the captain of the volunteer force a check for $1,000. The local newspaper man asked the captain what he was going to spend it on. The guy says, I am going to get the brakes on the damn truck fixed. If you can break your brake, only then it is brake. Otherwise, it can't be brake. If you catch that continuity, you can break at any time. You can break at any time. The brake is under your control. So, let us break now. Understand these great ideas from Patanjali. Experience these meditations and catch that continuity, fourth state. Living in the fourth state is what I call living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti.
Now I am going to present few great truths about the collective consciousness, which may surprise you, or you might have heard of this truth. Whatever it may be, whether it is new or old for you, try to analyze as much as possible. Try to analyze till your logic feels tired, till your logic falls. Try to analyze till your logic falls. First thing, all your minds are not individual, separate pieces of the universe. It is all one and the same. All your minds are interlinked. Not only interlinked, directly affects each other. That is what we call collective consciousness. It straight away affects each other. Your thoughts are just as infectious as your cold. Your cold. People may escape from your cold. It is not so infectious, but your thoughts are much more infectious than cold. If you catch cold from somebody, you may suffer only a few days, that also physically. But when you catch thoughts from people, not only you suffer mentally, you suffer forever. It's not only mentally, you suffer forever. Same way, anything you think affects the people who are staying around. And not only people who are staying around, whomsoever is living in the planet Earth, they are touched by your thoughts. Understand? Now, naturally, our intellect will resist. How can this be true? Receive all these things. Now we will then later on the question and answer session, we will analyze it one by one, inch by inch. First truth, I declare, all of us are not different beings, different minds. We are all totally interlinked, closely networked. Any of my thought can transform you. Any of your thought can touch me. We are not watertight compartmented. We are not separate individuals. You are not an island. Please be very clear. You are not an island. There is only one thing called collective consciousness. Next truth, not only in the mental level, even in the deeper conscious level, the more deep you go, the more deeply you are connected. The more deep you go, the more deep you are connected. Sachidananda. Get that NSP diagram. I'll try to explain a simple truth. Please understand. This is the physical layer, physical body. This is the pranic body, the second level, third level, fourth level, fifth, sixth, seventh. You have the 7 layers of bodies. In the physical layer, for example, the physical level, you are here. I am here. And God is here. If you come down a little bit to the pranic level, you see, in the physical level, the distance is too much. In the pranic level, if you come down to a little subtle level, pranic level, the distance between you and me is reduced. Here the distance is too much. Here it is reduced. And if you come down a little more, the mental level, again the distance is little less. If you come down a little deeper and deeper, the distance between you, me, God. When you come down, when you go a little deeper and deeper, the more deeper you go, the distance is less. The more deeper you go, the distance between you, me, God will be reducing. In the end, the deeper level, there is no distance. You, me, God, everything is just one and the same.
The only in the physical level.
Everybody can hear. Really. Take another mic. No? Take the other mic. Yeah. Take the other mic.
In the physical level, the distance is too much. In the pranic level, distance is little less. And in the mental level, distance is little less. It is getting reduced. The more deeper you go, the more sensitive you grow. The distance is reducing. The distance is getting lesser and lesser. In the end, nirvanic body, you, me, God, all the three are one the same. There is no distance. The physical level, your different entities, when you feel in tune or when you start loving somebody intimately, their suffering or joy can affect you. Why? Because the distance has become very less. It can simply come in or go out of your being. Their suffering can come into your being or their joy can come into your being. In a little deeper level, you don't have something called individual identity. You are just a part of collective consciousness. That is why many times you do not want suffering, but you are not able to escape from suffering. Again and again, whether it is physical disease or a mental depression or the spiritual bondage, even though you don't want, you have to undergo the suffering because you are not clear-cut enough. You are not aware that you are part of the collective consciousness. The moment you become aware, you don't have an individual identity. You are part of collective consciousness. You don't have a separate ego except your identities, your intellectual understanding. In existence, there is no such thing called your separate individual entity exists. When you realize that, you just go beyond sufferings, depression, and diseases. Understand this one thing. As long as you have the concept, you are individual. The individual consciousness. As long as you have individual consciousness, whether physically or mentally or in being level, spiritually, you will be continuously suffering. Why do you think continuously you are resisting the nature? Whatever nature offers, you resist it. There's a beautiful saying, man as a rule is a fool when it is hot asking for cool, when it is cool asking for hot, always asking what is not. Always asking what is not. When it is cool, you resist. You think you are different from the existence. I have seen sannyasis, enlightened masters, living in Himalayas with just this normal cloth in the cold, in the snow. And I myself lived years
never body was disturbed. Never body was disturbed. Because I never had the thought that I am different from the nature. Only when you start thinking you are different from the atmosphere or the existence or the air which is there near you, you start resisting it. A very simple thing. Just now you can practice. You are feeling cold. Just relax and observe, witness in which area you are feeling cold. In that area, don't resist the atmosphere. Don't resist the air. Don't resist the temperature. Don't resist the existence. In that area, just say to yourself, I am not going to resist the nature. I am not going to resist the existence. Let me relax. Just consciously decide and relax. In few minutes, the idea of cold will disappear. It may look, immediately what we do is, we put the next extreme question. Can we do this in the time of snow and can we survive? Because our mind always goes to extremes. You can, if you can do it totally. And you don't have that much of totality. We don't have that much of clarity. If we can relax, fall in tune with nature so much, simply you can live. Because human beings are living. And they all can manage, why not us? When you think you are something separate from the nature, nature disturbs you. And one more thing, in the air, all possible bacteria and viruses are there. Any moment, any disease can affect you. Any disease can happen to you. As long as you feel in tune with the existence, even if they come inside your body, they just leave. The moment you start thinking that you are somebody individual, separate from the existence, you are something different, then the whole becomes your enemy. You see, you are a part and everything is a whole. If you feel in tune with the whole behaves as a friend. The moment you start thinking, the moment you start discriminating and start behaving with the whole in an opposite way, it just starts acting like an enemy. Be very clear, the whole is not here to kill you or destroy you. And it's a simple, one more example you can understand. When a living person falls in the water, he gets drowned. The dead body floats. And after all, dead body is more heavy. It is filled with water now. Once he dies, he drinks water and water goes inside. He is heavy. But dead body floats, but a living person gets drowned. What do you think? As long as you are living, you resist the water. You are resisting the nature. If you just stop resisting, if you just feel that the whole is part of you, you have become part of the whole, simply you can start floating. And the other day I read a beautiful interview. One person jumped in the Niagara Falls and he survived. A strange thing. He jumped in the Niagara Falls and he survived. All the journalists are questioning him. How could you manage it? How did you survive? And if you have seen Niagara, then you can understand. I can't even imagine that somebody survived in that Niagara. He says beautifully. He says, when I jumped, I felt that I became part of the falls. I felt I am a particle floating in the falls. When I came out, again I felt I am just a part. I never felt I am different. When you disappear into collective consciousness, nature is not enemy for you. Nature is your close friend. Nature protects you. When you think you are individual, as long as you have individual consciousness, nature protects you. When you realize you are a collective consciousness, nature protects you. Wherever you want to achieve success, even in the social and economical way, only when you feel in tune with the whole group, only when you fall in tune with the collective consciousness, you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve. As long as you think you are an individual, you wanted to keep your place distinctly, you wanted to keep the idea you are somebody, be very clear, you will be continuously resisted and you will be resisting. Whether it is home or office, workplace or your company or industry, wherever. If you disappear into the collective consciousness, you will be again and again protected and taken care. And you will experience the ultimate success, not only socially and economically. You will start experiencing it in a feeling of fulfillment. The feeling of fulfillment which happens to you will be inexplicable. The moment you start resisting, you create hell for your whole life. Small story. A guy was informed that his wife has fallen in the river and he is supposed to jump in the river and save. He jumped and started swimming against the current. And they shouted, "Arey, what are you doing? You are going against the current." He said, "You don't know, my wife, even if she falls in the river, she will float only against the current." She resists everything so much. I don't think she can go with the current even with the river. As long as you resist the current, whether it is your workplace or house or office or a company or wherever it is, as long as you don't disappear into the collective consciousness, you will be continuously creating hell for you and for others. Even in the physical level, if you think you are somebody separate, be very clear, you will be inviting diseases. And one more thing, the mental level, if you think you are separate, again and again, you will be creating seeds of violence. Seeds of violence is created when you feel you are individual. With collective consciousness, you unify. With individual consciousness, you dissect or cut things into pieces. Logic always breaks. Intuition always unites. With a collective consciousness, of course, in the soul level, if you are feeling you are an individual, there is no possibility of any spiritual growth. Any spiritual growth. Spiritually, you can't even put your first step. First thing, in the physical level, you are not an individual. Your body
and the body of the sun is straight away connected. Any small change in the body of the sun can change your body. Any small change in your body can change the body of the moon. Even though logically you are not able to relate, it is truth. And the next thing, in mental level, you are not alone, you are not an island. Any thought which is put on somebody else's head comes and touches you, and any thought which is created in your mind goes and touches the other person. It's like a ripple created in a lake. If you are going to create a strong wave, you will be inspiring and impressing others by your thought. If you are not so solid to create a strong wave, be very clear, others' waves are going to impress you. Either you live as a leader or you will be a follower. There is no in between. You always think, I will not be a leader, I can't do that much, but I don't have to be a follower. I'll just maintain my own stand, which is simply impractical. There is no such thing as my own stand exists. Either you lead or you follow. That's all. The mental level also, again and again, if you think you are an individual, you will be resisted. And the moment you understand you are part of the collective consciousness, not only you will not be resisted, you will be welcomed and received. Third thing, in the ultimate way, the spiritual level, the moment you understand, you are deeply connected, totally connected, intensely connected to the whole group, to the whole universe. Not only you start experiencing the bliss, you start living, opening many dimensions of your being. Now you are stressed out, disturbed continuously because you have to think too much just with one mind. You have to enjoy so much just with one body. If you disappear into this collective consciousness, you will have so many dimensions, so many possibilities, and the amount of ecstasy you can't imagine. Understand? With this one body itself, if you can make so much of joy, if you can enjoy so much, what will happen if you have two bodies? You can put one in the AC, another one in the heater, and enjoy both. If you have three bodies, you can put all the three bodies, depute all the three bodies in three countries and enjoy three different cultures. And if you have four, you can naturally enjoy little more. Just understand, if you have so many bodies, how much of joy and bliss you will have. Same thing you will experience when you understand you are part of collective consciousness. The whole NLP, our Nithyananda Spurana program, is all about making you realize you are the part of collective consciousness. Not only a part, you are collective consciousness. You are not individual consciousness as you think. Physically or mentally or spiritually. Layer by layer, when we go deeper and deeper, you start feeling you are just one with everything. That is why automatically the diseases disappear. You start feeling the well-being in mental layer, pranic layer, physical layer, etheric layer, and in all the deeper layers. When you really experience that you are boundaryless consciousness, I have seen when we end the program, the meditation camp, people go into such a deep ecstasy, they forget their name, their social status, their education, their qualification, their wealth, their religion, all what they think they are. They forget everything and respect everybody. They fall at others' feet. Even I've seen the daughter-in-law, father-in-law falling at the feet of daughter-in-law. That never happens in India. At least in Indian culture, it is too much. I have seen father-in-law falling at the feet of daughter-in-law, just seeing the divine in her, and mother-in-law falling at the feet of son-in-law, and fathers falling at the feet of daughters, because they see the divine, and the grandmothers touching the feet of granddaughters, and the person who is a boss or who is the owner of a company touching the feet of person who works for him. This is staff for whom he pays. I've seen this happening. When you experience the deep ecstasy of oneness, collective consciousness, when you experience the bliss or ecstasy of the collective consciousness, you forget all the differences of your name, wealth, social status, prestige, whatever you think of you just disappears, and what you are is revealed to you. I've seen people bowing, touching the feet of their worst enemies in that ecstasy. They forget, they are raised, they experience such a deep level of consciousness, such an intense level of energy, such a collective consciousness, such a bliss. Literally, ego disappears and they enter into the state of collective consciousness. And without even knowing, they just go around in that ecstasy. And whomsoever is there, they see God in everyone. It is not that they are given instruction. It is not that they are visualizing. When the experience happens, the whole group feels the collective consciousness and realizes they are one and the same. They are not different entities. Only when you experience the collective consciousness, you can say, you can realize, you can experience what I mean by the word bliss, eternal bliss, Nithyananda. So I pray to the ultimate divine, let you experience this eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. According to science, vacuum is absence of matter, but according to you, vacuum as energy, matter is manifestation of energy. How will you define vacuum then? Please understand, now the science has changed its view. Now they are coming up with a clear-cut idea. No such thing as vacuum can be created. Even in the space in which you say vacuum,
the ether is the present. The ether is the grass form of energy. And they are very clear now, ether is also a form of matter. It can be measured and handled. So, first thing, now the science has evolved so much that it could catch up with the spirituality. It could understand the spiritual truths. And they have started understanding vacuum is not absence of matter. It is absence of certain parts of matter, not completely all matter. You have 5 elements. Vacuum is absence of 4 elements. That's all. It is not the absence of matter. So, science has changed its opinion. And this itself has answered my question. The question. So, my stand is accepted by the science, where lately they are coming up with their clear concepts also to work on the ether, how to use the ether and all those things. Thousands of years ago, the Eastern rishis have developed Vastu Shastra to use the power of ether. All our Vastu Shastra means the technique of building homes and houses are all based on this science of ether. So, now they are working to how to use the power of ether. So, the next question is very clearly answered in this itself. According to me and according to science, vacuum is energy. And vacuum is not absence of matter. And I define, according to me, vacuum is not something special from total. Total and vacuum are one and the same. If non-living things like rocks have intelligence, is there any difference in the intelligence between human beings, animals and non-living things? Please explain. One difference. Human being has got the conscious choice. He can decide whether to live with that intelligence or not. The animals and non-living things don't have that choice. They are intelligent by nature. With human beings, you have a choice to be a fool. That's the only difference. Nature, by nature, intelligent. Human beings have got a choice. You can be intelligent or you can be a fool. Except this choice, except this difference, there is no other difference. Their nature is intelligent by nature always. Human beings are intelligent by mistake. Sometimes, unfortunately, they act intelligently without knowing. Except that there is no other difference. I understand that as we go deeper into the 7 bodies, the distance becomes less. How do you move down in levels of bodies and stay there so you can truly experience collective consciousness? It's just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Just very simple as 1, 2, 3. 1, after the lecture, go to the volunteer. 2, register for NSP. 3, be here tomorrow morning. Just 1, 2, 3. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You can experience and stay there. It is said that an
individual has control over their mind, does that mean an outside mind can still influence an individual's mind and thought process? How do we control it so as to prevent anger or depression? This refers to the first truth that you stated. Thank you. Nice question. It is said that an individual has control over their mind. And can I know who is that individual who put this question? It is said that, can you control your mind? This is the same reply from everyone it will be. If I ask anyone, it will be the same reply. Then how can we believe this first statement? It is said that an individual has control over their mind. This is only said, not practiced. Be very clear, it is only said, not experienced. So that statement is wrong. The next thing, does that mean an outside mind can still influence an individual's mind and thought process? Yes. Are you married? You are. Simply by them, now you know your husband can influence your thought process. And you see, one small thing, not only by giving orders, even without giving orders, he can influence. For example, you wanted to come to meditation. I'm not saying particularly about you. Your husband may be here, I don't know. For somebody, you want to come to meditation. He never says openly no, but he just keeps his face, long face. He can influence your meditation here. When you are sitting here, his long face, you will be meditating on his long face. You will be continuously remembering his long face. They are very energy. And one more thing you should understand. For example, he never liked this meditation, all this stuff. And somehow, fortunately, he was not in the station. He is not in the city. He is out of station for last 10 days. Even then, if you are coming here, you come with a thought. If he is here, I have to ask permission. So you will say no. Anyhow, you come here. You have not asked him. He has not showed any even body language or verbal language. Nothing has happened. But when you are sitting here, your energy will be totally different. That memory, just the memory, if I ask him how he will react, is more than enough to put you into low mood, to influence you. Am I right? The very thought is enough to change the whole energy. So understand, it is so practical. Others can influence your mind without even expressing their thoughts, without even expressing their body language, even if you don't see them, even if you have not seen them, even if you have not asked them about something, just their thought thinking trend, just their thought structure, when you know about it, that is more than enough to influence your thought and thinking system. How do we control it so as to prevent anger or depression? How do we control it? Again, same answer. Only meditation. Analyze all the 7 layers of your so-called individual consciousness. You are nothing more than onion. Please be very clear. We are nothing more than an onion. If you peel the onion layer by layer, what is there inside? Empty. Just like that, you are an onion. Onion thinks it has got something solid. Only when you peel all the 7 layers, you understand there is nothing inside. Same way you think you are an individual consciousness. If we peel all your 7 layers,
You will experience you are a cosmic consciousness, collective consciousness. That's a one and only way to prevent anger or depression which sneaks inside your system from others, through others and by others. Thank you. Why do we have to suffer? In childhood, we are trained to be separate from others, then school to learn to be somebody, and then adults competing in commercial jobs, and ultimately, if the ultimate truth is we are one bliss, why cannot mass consciousness also reflect this joy, peace and love? It's a beautiful question. I'll answer step by step. Why do we have to suffer? In childhood, we are trained to be separate from others. Then school to learn to be somebody. Then learn adults competing in commercial jobs. If the infinite truth is we are one bliss, why cannot mass consciousness also reflect this joy, peace and love? This question has got so much of potential meaning. The people who created the education system which we are practicing now are not enlightened people. That is the first problem. The education system created by enlightened people, the rishis, Gurukulam structure, totally outdated. It is not anymore alive. Let me say a few things about the Rishi culture or Gurukulam education system. The education system designed by enlightened masters. In that system, any child who takes birth in that country belongs to the university. He belongs to the master. Parents have no right over kids. The moment they give birth, he or she will be handed over to the Guru. And Guru takes care of him. There are just few rules I'll explain. They are not allowed to wear clothes till they are 7. You do not know, you laugh. It means till 7 they are not even given an idea that they are some individual bodies. They are allowed to relate with existence, ether, straight away with their whole body. They are allowed to relate with flowers. They are allowed to relate with forests. They are allowed to relate with trees. They are allowed to relate with earth. Till the age of 7, they are not even given an idea that they are somebody, they are some body, as you asked in the question. They are some body. And the next thing, they are not taught to suppress the left. They are not given the idea whether they are male or female till the age of 7. They are not given the idea whether they are male or female. They are not given the idea that they are somebody. They are not given the